for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to Midvale Speedway. It is night number 6 of the 2013 racing season. (2012) Barberton Raceway Park NASCAR Challenge Series champion Don Harvey Jr. on the pole. Brian Smith, current Midvale Speedway late model point leader on the outside in the field, coming to green, 8 laps. First heat for the late models. Harvey side by side with Smith, racing through the second corner and down the backstretch they go. Brian Smith on the outside, Don Harvey Jr. on the bottom. They race down the front stretch and Smith goes into the lead. Close racing by those two, going through turn number 4. Never did touch. They keep on rolling. Racing in the third spot is Stankiewicz in the 42. Battle for fourth between Ryan Tedesco and Doug McMillan. Tedesco carrying the GoPro camera on top of his number 70 car. Most likely for Northeast Ohio Racing News here in attendance tonight. Smith leading the way, Harvey second, Stankiewicz third, and Tedesco running fourth. Battle for the number 5 spot. Rosenberry, the top qualifier, has passed Sibla, working on McMillan now. Top 5 positions in the heats get points. And Rosenberry is up into the 5th spot. McMillan not giving it up easily. 5 in, 3 to go this time for Brian Smith in the number 1 car. White flag this time, 1 lap to go for Brian Smith. Exiting turn 4, the Canton Auto Salvage finish line design. Canton Auto Sales number 1 of Brian Smith the win. Harvey second, third to Stankiewicz, fourth to Tedesco, and a 5th spot to the number 2 of top qualifier Alex Rosenberry as heat race number 1 is complete. Your winner, the current point leader from Canton, Ohio, Brian Smith. Canton Auto Salvage, finish line design. Canton Auto Sales car having a great start to his season. He's never won a championship, I don't believe, here at Midvale Speedway. His brother, Bubba, has won a couple of them in the late model division, and Bryant right now leading Bubba in the points. Second heat coming up next. It's by Dave Carr, starting 4th. The 17 of Bob Schneider Jr. from Denison. The Landstar by Jeff Seacrest, Barnhill Investment Storage, Swan Racing Fabrication, McBride's and Liz Talati 17 of Bob Schneider Jr. He is going to be celebrating his birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to Bob Schneider Jr. tomorrow, his birthday. Mike Miller in the 22 car starts 5th, and Bubba Smith in the 12. Last week's feature winner, the one 2 weeks ago, he starts in the 6th position. And the green is out for the rookie Mills and the 28 car of Ritter. Side by side down into the corner, some contact between Riddle and Schneider steers out of it. Side by side down into the first corner. Ritter pulling ahead now. The Weirton, West Virginia driver edging ahead into the lead. Mills still fighting on the inside lane. Riddle hard back of the pack. Gets up alongside Bubba Smith again. Great race for the number 1 position between Jonathan Ritter and Matthew Mills. Mills doesn't want to give it up. Ritter wanting to take it away, and we've been side by side for the first half of the race. 4 in, 4 to go. Mills coming from the go-kart series here at Midvale Speedway. Ritter coming from the Legend cars, moving up into our late model division a few years ago. This is Mills' rookie season, and we see 3 to go now. 3 final laps to go for Mills, Ritter, and now Schneider, celebrating his 48th birthday tomorrow. He's on the inside of Ritter for the 2nd spot. Schneider picks up the number 2 position. Ritter back to 3rd. Battle for 4th between Bubba Smith and Mike Miller. Miller's going to be able to hold him off. He does not close the door, though, and Smith able to get back in. 1 to go. White flag for Mills. Mills leading the way. 2nd spot is Schneider. 3rd spot is Ritter. Battle for 4th coming to the checkered, and it's the rookie Matthew Mills, the victory. 2nd spot to Schneider, 3rd to Ritter, 4th spot to Mike Miller, Bubba Smith, George Riddle also finishing our 2nd heat race. That was a good one. The 8, your winner from New Philadelphia, the teenage driver, Matthew Mills. Dennison T-shirt graphics, Frontier Tool, Van Meters Auto, McBride Hidden Horsepower, the sponsors for Mills. The Animal Bob Eichel in the 69 car, I believe did pick up a heat race win a few weeks ago here at the track. Looking for his 2nd of the season with that new car this year. Got in the 14.9s in qualifying, a 14.943. Pretty equal in qualifying, 69, 57, 06. Back a little bit in the 15.3s was William Robinson. Green flag is out and we're underway. Baker pulling alongside Eichel going into the first quarter. Gone yellow, caution flag. Caution flag coming out. Ready to go off of turn 4, Eichel and Baker. Here we go to the stripe that's been covered up by rubber, and we're underway. Side by side, they race through 1 and 2. Baker on the outside of Eichel. Baker sideways. Eichel gets him by a half car length. 1 down at the stripe, and the Animal in the lead. Bob the Animal Eichel leading. Here comes Fuchs in the 57. He's running the bottom. Wiggles a bit. Wiggles a little bit more. Nearly spun it down the backstretch. Here's Robinson in the 4th spot, the 14. Boy, Fuchs all kinds of sideways exiting corner 4 that time. And Baker is challenging Eichel for the lead. All over the rear bumper. Maybe not making contact, but he's right there. Using the brakes, checking out his reflexes going into the 3rd corner. 3 down and 5 to go. We'll be halfway this next time around. Baker letting the car eat a little bit now. Goes back to the 2nd groove. 4 in, 4 to go for Eichel. Here's Fuchs to the bottom now of Baker for the number 2 position. For the runner-up spot, 3 to go at the line this time, and Fuchs trying to move his way into the number 2 position after turning a decent qualifying lap earlier. Fuchs moving into 2nd. Eichel now standing between he and a possible heat race victory. Off of turn number 4, 2 laps to go for Eichel and Fuchs. Fuchs has a good run through too. Then he bobbles. He's going to loop it. He'll spin it around. He backs it down into the infield, locks it up. And that will bring out the yellow. Caution flag is out. We have completed 6 laps, 2 laps to go. Solo car spin. Again, final 2 circuits of racing. Oh, close racing there between Eichel and Baker. Baker's got a shot at him. Off the corner, Eichel has to lift a little bit. Baker takes a half-car length lead, even more than that now. Down in 3 and 4. Battle to the stripe. 1 to go for Baker and Eichel. Oh, Baker started to close the door a little early. He does give Eichel room. Oh, up the track, they rub some paint. Fuchs nearly hit the wall at the back of the field. Eichel sideways. They're going to race to the stripe. Who's going to bring it home in one piece? It's going to be Baker, and he wins the race as Eichel spins across the line in second. 3rd spot to Robinson. 4th spot to Fuchs. That was a good race. Couple in a row. Pretty good events now in the McIntosh Oil Company late model division. Our 3 McIntosh Oil Company late model heats. Your winner, let's hear it for Larry Baker. One of the nicest guys in the pits. Sportsman of the Year a season ago, the Baker racing car. From New Franklin, Ohio, 6th in the standings. Having a pretty solid season to this point. Top qualifiers, Scott Archer, the Archimotive. Orwick's Tree Service, 28, starts 6th, 8 laps, fast heat for the modifieds. Rick Sibla on the inside lane, Bob Sibla Jr. on the outside, McClintock and Ripley in row 2, and it's Bob Sibla Jr. leading the field into turn 3 as the Sibla brothers race side by side in cars. They're filling in for the main drivers. Sideways was Rick Sibla. And Bob Sibla Jr. goes into the lead. Family bragging rights currently for Bob Sibla Jr. Kevin McClintock, the point leader, racing the outside lane. He's picked up 1 feature win this season. And he's racing side by side with his closest point competitor, Todd Ripley, who's 2nd in the standings coming into week 6. Lap number 3 on the board this time. 3 in, 5 to go. Top qualifier Scott Archer working the bottom lane. Archer on the inside of McClintock for 4th. 4 laps to go. Sibla, Ripley, Archer, McClintock, and Walker. Ripley ready to make a move possibly at Rick Sibla. He runs high in, goes low off, can't quite get underneath Rick Sibla. 2 to go, 6 laps in for the 82 of Bob Sibla Jr. Sibla with a commanding lead, and now Ripley for 2nd to the inside of Rick Sibla. Not quite. Archer's there as well, challenging 1 lap to go. Off of turn number 4, the Ertl Racing, number 82 of Bob Sibla Jr. the victory. 2nd spot to Rick Sibla. 3rd goes to Todd Ripley. 4th spot to Scott Archer. 5th position is Kevin McClintock, and 6th is Preston Walker. Bowers in the 02 is Rick Sibla, filling in for Tom Ertl. In the 82 is Bob Sibla Jr. He wins the heat. Let's hear it for Bob Sibla Jr. Sibla hasn't raced much with us over the years. He's a former dirt track racer. A former competitor in the Pure Stock division. Kaufman sponsored by Hine Racing, and the number 9 rounding it out, filling in for Westerfield is Aaron Prater of the Barberton, Ohio area, and a green flag is out. We are underway side by side for the lead. On the inside is Greg Hull, outside is Dobbins. Here comes Westlake thinking about threading the needle. Side by side for the number 1 spot. Outside lane and crossing the stripe in the first position is the 11 of Dobbins. Hull goes up, hits him in the side. Hull will now move forward. Here comes the 51 car of Westlake, the 17 of Smart. Hull leading the way, 2 laps in. Greg Hull in the lead. Here comes Westlake. Westlake looks strong tonight. Westlake to second. The bottom is opened up. He takes over as Hull pushes up in a power push in turn 4, and Westlake fills the opening. Hull's car shoving like a dump truck, shoving like a snowplow, and the 9 car moving up is Prater. Prater looking good right now in the number 3 position. We are halfway. Prater, again, a competitor in the modifieds at Lorain County Speedway this season, racing Westerfield's car tonight. Former driver in the sportsman class up at Barberton. My goodness. 15 of Hull pushes up again into the side of Dobbins. That car is shoving badly. Into second goes Dobbins. Hull is back to third. In the 4th spot is Prater. And around goes Kaufman. Kaufman a spin. Greg Hull is third. Prater is 4th to the green. 3 laps from the finish. Side by side through turns 1 and 2 we go. Westlake on the bottom, Usage on the outside. That car driven by Dobbins tonight. Dobbins a half car length advantage. Prater going to take third away. Up, Greg Hull got into the left rear quarter panel. Spins him around. Side by side for the lead as we go back to green with 3 laps to go. Off the second turn, the 11 car of Dobbins, a half car length lead. Hard into the third corner. Westlake giving him plenty of room. Good, clean racing between the two, but now Westlake is pulling back forward. Dobbins enters a little bit too hot in turn 1. Gets a good run off of turn 2, though. Now we've got the white flag coming up, and we might see another great run to the finish between the two for the lead. Westlake bobbles. Dobbins still on the outside. Less than a lap to go. Westlake up the banking. Dobbins pulls forward. Looks like Dobbins race to have. Oh! Contact made, and around they go. And that will do it as this race comes to an end. 51 of Westlake, contact with the 11 car of Dobbins. Picking up the victory with the 7 of the 8 laps complete as we do in our heat races. The 11 of Dave Dobbins. Graphics by Dave, H&H Napa, Joe's Auto Service, Ida's Cafe car. The Nick Diano Memorial number 136 of Ricky Grudier starting up front with the 18 of Anders outside. And here we go to the green. Into the first corner, Anders is going to go into the lead. Anders, though, nearly comes to a stop off of the corner. Grudier fighting back on the inside. Not a lot of room between those two cars. We race to the finish of lap 1. Oh, so close between the two. They are squeezing it to the bottom. It almost gives room for Gruhl to go to the outside 3 wide. Not quite. Grudier getting into a little bit of a groove now, and he's going to pull ahead of Anders here shortly. Anders slips back to second. Tim Westerfield Sr., former modified competitor. He's running the 77 for Sloan tonight. Now Anders has gone to the bottom. He's going to look for the opening inside of Grudier. Oh, look out. Anders locks it up sideways through turn 4. Continues on in second. 3 laps complete, 5 laps to go. Close call for Anders and Grudier there. The brakes definitely do work on the 18 car. We are halfway now, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. .136 of Grudier leading the way, but Anders is there challenging right on the rear bumper. 25 car getting the black flag for leaking fuel. 25 of Sean Mulder, first ever race, leaking fuel. Jason Gruhl for second inside of Josh Anders. Oh, locking him up, the 77 of Westerfield. 4-car battle for the lead, lap and a half to go. Trouble waiting to happen right now. Anders, he won't save this one. Around he goes. He stays in the gas. Can he keep moving? No. Caution flag is out. Green flag, turn 4, 6 in, 2 to go. Not a good restart. going to have a caution for a complete restart. 6 in, 2 laps to go. Who will win this one? Wild final heat for the Summit Racing Modifieds. And a pretty good restart. We're off and underway. Jason Gruhl, the edge into the corner. He's going to take the lead. Westerfield thought about 3 wide, then thought again. Lucas Ripley might come with a last lap challenge for the victory. Ripley up to second. Here he comes, closing in on Jason Gruhl. Ripley all of a sudden goes from hot lap mode to race win mode. He's up to second. Half a lap to go. Can he challenge in the final 2 turns? Jason Gruhl into turn number 4 to the checkered, and Gruhl's going to get the victory. Second spot to the 0 of Ripley. Third to Grudier. Has moved into the modifieds this season and has returned to racing, and his first win of the season in a modified from Dover. Let's hear it for Jason Gruhl. Willendale Golf Cart Sales, Front Street Automotive, Martini 97, and Seconds Resale Car. The win in the third and final modified heat. Pure Stocks. 8-lap fast heat for the Pure Stocks. Harmon the slight edge at the green, and now from behind, Shimko, some contact. Here comes the 84 of Schweitzer, and I think maybe a flat tire on the number 9 of Harmon. Caution flag is out. Caution out as Miller at about a half car length advantage on Oliver exiting turn number 4. Miller and Oliver, and a contact down in the corner between the two. The 49 of Oliver heading down into the right side of Miller's car. Coming to the green off of turn number 4, we're underway. Shimko edging ahead in the 13, but here comes Miller back on the inside lane. Todd Miller wheeling it after an opening night feature win, looking for a second feature win later tonight. Side by side with Shimko. He's pulling forward after Shimko had a good restart. Second groove looks pretty good tonight. Shimko, though, sideways now. And Miller pulling ahead. Side by side between the top 2 in points in third and fourth. Schweitzer the point leader on the outside of Boron. Good racing again in the Pure Stocks. 2 laps complete. Final 6 circuits of the Pure Stock Fast Heat race. Miller and Shimko. 5 cars turning identical laps so far. Still going at it, top 4 in close competition. Oh, Shimko sideways and Schweitzer right there on the rear bumper. Didn't make any contact, but was very close. That middle lane opened. Shimko up the track, dirt tracks, and now some contact between Schweitzer and Boron as he checks up. Here comes Oliver getting to the inside lane. Oliver and Schweitzer going at it on the backstretch, rubbing a little bit of paint as they head into turn 3. Good side-by-side Pure Stock vintage action in the division here tonight in this first heat race. As Boron now going for the number 2 spot. Schweitzer and Oliver getting together. Oliver's going to lock it up. And caution flag is out. Gabe Pringle going to talk things over with him on the backstretch. 5 laps in, 3 to go. Miller and Boron up front. Three to go for Miller and Boron. Miller sideways on the restart. Spun the tires a little bit. That allows Boron to go into the lead. Miller back to second. For the third position, Teddy Oliver holding off Shimko. And now Schweitzer goes to the outside of Shimko for the 4th spot. 2 to go. Schweitzer outside of Shimko for the number 4 position. Oliver running in the 3rd spot. In the 2nd position is Miller, and 1 to go for Boron. To the checkered off of 4, the East Sparta youngster. And car 82, Don Boron Jr., another victory. 2nd to Miller, 3rd to Oliver, 4th spot to Schweitzer, and finishing 5th, the 13 of Shimko. DeVille Apartments, J&B Feed and Supply, Bowling's Used Cars, B&B Diner, and Buck Hill Fabricating. Thumbs up from Todd Miller on the way by. Your winner, Don Boron Jr. Early and Hoopengarner to the green, and Early's car just not getting up to speed. Hoopengarner into the lead, Early slipping back, car just not up to power. Boron into 2nd, 4th, 3rd, look out, going to get a little close and going to get a little closer, might even get a little closest. For the lead up front, we've got Boron challenging Hoopengarner. Anders has moved into 3rd, past Early. Here comes Harvey, as well as the 29 of Orr. 2 laps in, 6 laps to go for the 68 of Hoopengarner. The Earl's Limo Service number 3 is missing, definitely not up to power. Missing badly the 3. 3 in, 5 to go. And Early in the number 3 will pull into the pits early. And Hoopengarner leads. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Three to go for Hoopengarner. Two to go. And Boron is there, and he's starting to challenge Hoopengarner, who is the veteran in the lead, and he's protecting the inside lane, just as Anders is doing in 3rd as Harvey tries to get by. White flag, 1 to go. Harvey all over the rear bumper there of Anders, and now he drops off the pace, and Austin Harvey pulls off into the infield. He's going to take a shortcut, maybe. Nope, he's done. Coming to the checkered this time was 68 from Canton, Ohio now, Gary Hoopengarner. Boron 2nd. Anders pushes up, right front flat. Finishing 3rd is Orr. Finishing 4th with a flat right front tire is Anders. And finishing 5th is Austin Harvey. Your winner, the 68, Gary Hoopengarner. Veteran driver of Midvale Speedway, as well as Canton, of course, dirt tracks the last number of years too. And the 57 of Mike Swaney. The green is out. Joe Oliver the whole shot on the front straightaway, but it is Schneider fighting back in the inside lane. Oliver keeps his momentum up in that Patterson car and goes into the lead. The Chris Lapone number 3 of Joe Oliver into the top spot. Schneider running 2nd, 3rd spot Jeffrey Orr, 4th is Max McCartney, and in 5th right now Braden Swaney, the 27, running the bottom lane. Swaney trying to move up past McCartney, who's racing the first time this season. He's a part-time competitor. By part-time, we mean once or twice a year. McCartney still battles for 4th. He loses some ground. Here comes the 31 of Kyle Grove. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Your leader, the number 3 of Joe Oliver. Schneider is second, Orr is third. Battle for fourth, Kyle Grove, who did not qualify, is on the move from the back of the pack. Grove working his way into the number 4 position. Joe Oliver cruising out front of this race. 1 to go this time, but Schneider holding on to second. Would be a good points race for Schneider as he battles for the championship. Had a wheel fly off a couple weeks ago in a feature. Little over half a lap to go for Joe Oliver in the 3. Coming to the checkered off of turn number 4, picking up the victory will be Joe Oliver, second spot to Schneider, third to Orr, fourth place to Swaney, and fifth spot to the 31 of Kyle Grove, making his first start of the season. Up here at the tower, if you want to sign up to take your car out on the track at intermission, race against one other person, you may do so up here at the main scoring tower. And for the other spectator drag participants, wait till this next heat race ends and then head pit side with your rides to get ready for your events tonight. Your winner, let's hear it for Joe Oliver. Canton South Small Engine Repair, Vegas Knights number 3, normally driven by Jesse Patterson, the Malvern, Ohio driver, not in behind the wheel tonight. It's Joe Oliver from Canton. And the 09 car of Wes Ennis, here we go. And Clark, problems on the start. Caution flag is out, yellow flag for a restart. Another team car of theirs on the outside of row 2. Good restart coming off the corner, no laps in, 8-lap heat. For the compacts, up the banking goes A.J. Vasilou, opens up the door for his dad. His dad doesn't go through it though. And Tim Frederick, who's having a solid season to this point, trying to take the lead away. A.J. Vasilou way up the track, goes into the second or third lane, putting Frederick up into the fourth and fifth lane. Vasilou still hanging on to the lead, though it was Frederick at the line. That inside lane is open again, and here comes Anthony Vasilou for the top spot. Passes his son for second. Frederick leading. A.J. Vasilou falls back even further. Look out on the front stretch. Wes Ennis heads up driving for the 09 car. Vasilou over driving that 9 a little bit right now. His second week of racing ever. His dad, though, is taking over the lead. Anthony Vasilou going up front. Clayton Oliver, his car running better now in the heat race than for sure it didn't qualify. Didn't even get to finish an official lap. As Clayton Oliver, the 19, runs the bottom of Tim Frederick. 4 in, 4 to go. Five in, 3 to go. Two to go, 6 complete at the line for Vasilou, Oliver, Frederick. White flag, 1 to go for Anthony Vasilou. Frederick all over Oliver. Checkered to the line this time. Vasilou the win, Oliver second, Frederick third, fourth place to Clark, fifth place to Ennis, sixth place to A.J. Vasilou. In the Canton South small engine repair, Vegas Night, sponsored number 4, your winner, Anthony Vasilou. The 99 of Ryan Schreffler, 97 Dale Beatty, 95 Lisa Moore, 15 Kyle Finlayson. Green flag. Lainey Stresky in that 17, running in the number 4 spot, looking for a win on her birthday. Roberts, a rookie driver in a division leading. Chris Bloom, one of our compact competitors, also drives in the Fun Pack division. He was top qualifier tonight in the Fun Pack road course. Roberts leads the way. Second is Bloom. Hahn is closing. Here comes Lisa Moore. Contact. 99 to Schreffler came down a little bit. I think she was up to about the door, but the spin by Schreffler down in the corner. Coming to green off of 4. Here we go. And we got them 3 wide. The ladies battle in that second row. Yellow out for the restart. Look out. This could get ugly. Hello now. Rush hour in Atlanta. Then our Fun Pack still yet to go on their road course. Spectator drags coming up at intermission tonight. Pretty good turnout for that. Here comes Roberts and Bloom. They're off and racing. Good restart. Lisa Moore threading the needle. Stresky up the banking. Here comes Schreffler through the middle. Up front, it's Roberts and Bloom going at it. Little dicey. Roberts leads the way. Bloom is second. Here comes Hahn for the runner-up spot. Moore goes to the outside. Dale Beatty makes it a battle. Beatty used to be one of our front runners in this division when he drove, I believe, the McNutt ride. Oh, look out. Roberts dirt track, and up the track he goes. Here comes Hahn to the bottom. Hahn taking over the lead. Beatty's going to come along. It's going to get tight down in 3. Look out. 3 wide. 2 wide in front of the 3 wide. So far, so good. They make it to the front stretch. That's a goal completed. We are halfway. Roberts has now been shuffled to the outside lane. We're still battling 3 wide. This is ugly, folks, and Beatty goes into the lead. Look out, some contact back in the field between Moore and Roberts. Got some rookies out there in this division mixed in with some veterans. It's making for some entertainment. This is our Talladega Daytona Super Speedway race for the night. Drivers shuffling, going to the back, coming forward, rubbing paint, door banging, side drafting, push bumping, leading the 97 of Beatty. Mercifully this time, 7 laps to go. Going to save the body men some work if we can get to the checkered in this one. 1 to go for Dale Beatty. Gerald Hahn running second. They're out of harm's way. From 17 on back, not so much. To the inside, Moore and Stresky get together. Stresky into the infield. She was trying to protect the bottom. We're still beating and banging. Down through the infield. There goes Bloom. Bloom, bonsaiing. He goes back up on the track. Crossing the line is Beatty. Second spot goes to Hahn. Third goes to Finlayson. Fourth to Bloom. And fifth to Roberts. Your winner in the 97, Dale Beatty. Two heats yet to go. We've got a mini truck heat and a fun packed heat. That final compact heat will be tough to top. They're off and rolling from a slow start, and Shelby Salchek on the outside lane, racing with Bob Parson on the inside. Parson into the lead. Salchek in the 22. Plenty of power in that truck goes into the corner. Parson was here a few weeks ago and blew the engine up in hot laps. It is Parson leading, but Salchek getting ready to make a move. Another one of our young female competitors here at Midvale Speedway, driving part-time behind the wheel of the 22 truck. Oh, Parson slips up the track. Here's the opening for Salchek. Salchek to the outside for the lead. Will she duck under in turn 4? She gets in line, goes back to the outside, 1 to go. Shelby Salchek from the Barberton area. Parson from Canton for the lead. Salchek, plenty of power, just can't quite get it to handle as good. To the inside, down into the corner. Parson, oh, we got him rubbing it around. He goes. I don't know, she was in there pretty far. And we will have a caution and checkered at the same time. Applause. Our top two, Shelby Salchek and Bob Parson. One final heat race yet to go. From Sherrilsville, the Eastern Ohio Hunting and Fishing Expo car, and that expo has put up 300 for the feature payoff tonight. Green flag, 8-lap heat race for the fun packs. Already 3 wide as Colton Bryan threading the needle between Walker and Bartholomew. They're going to come down into the chicane on the road course. Chris Paul leads. Paul Stahl second, Colton Bryan third. They make it through cleanly. 3 wide even, look at that. And checking up was Bucky to avoid contact. 1 lap in. Chris Paul leads the way, running smooth and pulling away from his competition. Paul Stahl holding on. Colton Bryan trying to get down in between Stahl and Bartholomew, and does just that. Stahl locks up the brakes under twice during the race as Chris Paul. He is broken out of his qualifying time. Paul is under his qualifying time. Will receive the black flag. Colton Bryan into the lead, and Chris Bloom from the back of the field up into the second spot. So Paul will be realigned for the feature later tonight. Colton Bryan into the lead, and Chris Bloom is right with him. It'll be halfway next time around. 4 laps in, 4 to go at the stripe for Colton Bryan as they maneuver through the road course portion of the racetrack. 4 to go. Colton Bryan actually putting a little bit of a gap between himself and the 151 of Bloom. 3 to go. Dan Bucky gets a run on Paul Stahl. Stahl will close the door. Bucky gives him room. Here we go, 1 lap from the finish, and Bloom is still closing on Colton Bryan. Final lap, those 2 drivers pulling away from the rest of the field. They entered this week first and third in points. Bloom is the point leader. Down through the road course portion, that left front tire on Bloom's car going a little bit flat through the right-handed corner and to the checkered. Bryan the victory, second spot to Bloom, 4th, 5th, and 6th, nose to tail. Paul Stahl's going to hang on to it. Bucky finishes 4th. Finishing 5th is Bartholomew, and finishing 6th is Walker. It's on 6 different courses. We'll draw for a new one for next week. And picking up the win tonight in the heat, Louisville's Colton Bryan. Finish Line Motors, Smith's Auto Sales, Canton Auto Salvage, Finish Line Design as sponsors. We have completed our heat race events. The spectator drag's coming up next, followed by our feature program. They're on the small road course tonight. This is the final race through the first 6 tracks. We're going to add a couple more tracks for the second time through that will go into the drawing. $200 on the line for the feature winner of the fun packs tonight, courtesy of the Eastern Ohio Hunting and Fishing Expo that's going to be held at Huggins Camp coming up here very soon for the Norma Huggins Cancer Endowment. Green flag is on the raceway. Oh, look out. Colton Bryan and Chris Paul get together. Dan Bucky involved in the number 50 as well. And we actually crash them on the non-road course portion of the racetrack, which is a little bit messed up. They ran great tonight on the road course in the heat. Lap event ready for green coming off of the small portion of the racetrack, and we're underway. Left on the track, Paul Stahl. Oh my goodness gracious. It's going to be he who finishes first. And yellow's out again. Here we go. Chris Paul goes into the lead. Paul looked good in the heat race, didn't qualify well, but then got a new time in the heat after being black flagged. We go through the road course portion. Slides off of the racetrack. We're in good shape. Your leader is Chris Paul. Bloom taking second now. $200 on the line from the Eastern Ohio Hunting and Fishing Expo. EOSportsComplex.com, I believe, the website to get more information on the Eastern Ohio Hunting and Fishing Expo. $200 for the win, and right now Chris Bloom, the 151, might just be up there to take it, but up the banking goes Paul. He's blocking a little bit. Here comes Bucky to the lead. Dan Bucky into the number 1 spot. Paul back to second. Boy, that opened up nicely, and a terrible, terrible break for Chris Bloom, who is the point leader. So keeping things in perspective, still has to drive for his points. He and Bucky first and second in the standings. Chris Bloom moves into second. Moving into third will be Walker. Paul is off the pace in the 26. He drops into fourth. 4 laps in, 8 to go for Bucky. Can Chris Bloom run him down? I think he'll be able to close. He's got time to do it. Bucky's going to have to be error-free to keep Bloom at bay. Though Bucky's running pretty well at the front of the pack. Six laps in, 6 laps to go for Dan Bucky in the number 50. Car of Dan Bucky leading the way. Second spot is Bloom. Top 2 drivers turning pretty equal laps. 1 lap, the leader will be a 10th quicker. The next lap, the second place guy is a 10th quicker, and they've been able to kind of stabilize that gap in between the two. Running third is Walker, 4th is Paul, and 5th is Paul Stahl. Here comes the white flag, 1 to go for Dan Bucky. Second spot, Bloom. Third spot, the 88 of Walker. Double checkered for Dan Bucky. Chris Bloom finishes second. Finishing third is Alan Walker. Coming home fourth is Paul. And finishing fifth, the 05 of Stahl. Well, worked out kind of nicely. His sponsor gave us a couple $100. Didn't look like he was going to win. Then the leader went high, took Bloom up the banking, and Bucky went underneath. He wins tonight's feature event. Dan Bucky can hear you now. Dan, congratulations. You and your sponsor helped us out this week. Gave us $200 for the win, $100 for the second spot. The Eastern Ohio Hunting and Fishing Expo coming up here soon. Tell us some details about that.
It's for the Norma Huggins Cancer Foundation. Give me a little teary, but it's a good cause, and they're putting in an endowment, and hopefully a few people come out. They have some good music on Friday. It's out in Sherriesville. It's on the website.
I believe it's eosportscomplex.com, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I want to thank the Eastern Ohio Hunting and Fishing Expo for donating the money, and I do want to pass that on to second and third place. I just want to tell him that I can win. It might be a little rough, but I can do it.
Hey, that first lap or so, man, it was rough out there.
Yeah, I'm going to have a stiff neck for sure.
Let's hear it for the winner, Dan Bucky. He's passing it along to second and third, so he won't collect the $200, so that's big there. Up, we got the draw for next week's feature. What do we got? Old Small Oval. We haven't run it yet. That's where they go down the backstretch of the big track and they dart off into the infield. That's a pretty cool track, too. A little bit was Bubba Smith. He still pulls alongside Harvey, racing for the number 2 position down the backstretch. Smith falls in line for the third spot. Here's Brian Smith on the inside of Stankiewicz. Side by side for the third position, Brian Smith on the inside of Tom Stankiewicz. McMillan and Tedesco for fourth and fifth and sixth. Harvey leading the way, Smith in second, Brian Smith in third. Black flag coming out for Paul Slintz this time, being sent pit side. Lead trio pulling away. It is Harvey, followed by Bubba Smith and Brian Smith. Now looking to the outside, Stankiewicz and Tedesco trying to move forward. Paul Slintz in the 45 car slowing now. Looks like he will pull pit side. Up in turn 2. Here comes lap number 5 complete. Rosenberry on the outside lane back in the field. And Smith for the lead to the inside of Harvey. Bubba Smith to the inside of Harvey. Made a good move coming off of 4. It is side by side for the lead on the backstretch. Smith looking for 2 in a row. Harvey, will he try to get back to the bottom? He won't be able to. Here comes Brian Smith to the inside. Stankiewicz, he's running well tonight. Practiced well, qualified well, racing well. He's in 4th. Tedesco 5th. Rosenberry, a very quick number 2 car trying to move forward. McMillan on the inside, Rosenberry on the outside lane, and Brian Smith, the younger brother of Bubba, is running right in his tire tracks. He runs a different lane. He's going to try everything he can to get around him, and on the move now is Tedesco in the 70. Ryan Tedesco in the 70, Alex Rosenberry in the 2. They're trying to come forward. Caution flag is out. Yellow flag is out. And now Bubba Smith and Brian Smith up front. The brothers Smith battling for the lead. First and second in points, and now here they go for the win tonight. Bubba Smith with 1 feature win this season. Bryant with 2. Battle of the bragging rights for the Smith family. Coming to the stripe in turn 4. They're off and racing. Caution flag out. Brian Smith in the 1 laying back a little bit on the start. There's Harvey and Stankiewicz in row 2. Tedesco's moved up to the 5th spot. He and Rosenberry trying to come to the front, the top qualifiers, as well as Sibla. Here we come to the green. Off and racing. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Smith on the inside, Smith on the outside, Harvey in 3rd. 4th place is Stankiewicz coming to the completion of lap 9. Through 1 and 2 we go, and Brian Smith is pulling forward. He's going into the lead. Bubba's still there. A little bit of contact. They keep on racing though, and Brian Smith is out front in this late model 30-lap feature on Frontier Tool and Equipment Rental Night. Contact between the top 2. Around goes Smith. Alex Rosenberry, they're coming quickly. 20 laps from the finish. Here comes Smith and Harvey to the green. Good restart. Side by side into turns 1 and 2 we go. Down the back stretch. Bubba Smith, Don Harvey Jr. racing for the lead. Tedesco and Rosenberry looking for an opening. Smith into the lead. Tedesco, can he get to the inside? Oh, Stankiewicz, close call with the 22 of Mike Miller. Here comes the 63 of Rick Sibla. But on the move, the number 2 of Alex Rosenberry. Rosenberry, the new Philadelphia youngster, to the outside lane. He's going for the number 2 spot. Meanwhile, Sibla also moving up. Excellent action in our late model feature. Oh, Sibla, what a save. Around goes the 57 of Fuchs back in the field. That will bring out the yellow. Caution flag for the 57 of Joe Fuchs. A spin in turns number 4. Tom Stankiewicz, Rick Sibla, and Doug McMillan. Green flag, turn 4, 18. From the finish, here we go. Contact as they go down the front stretch. They are side by side, but yellow's out. Caution flag out. Coming to turn number 4, and they're off and racing. Harvey back just a little bit. Smith waiting for him. They go over to turn number 4, where they'll get to the stripe where the cone sits on the wall. This time looking good. The green flag is out. That's a good restart. Smith on the inside, Harvey on the outside. Harvey taking the advantage down into turn 3. Smith still in there up to the door. They race off of turn number 4 to complete lap 13. Bubba Smith a little bit sideways. Harvey still working the high side, and problems down in turn number 4 as we have yellow out. I believe it's Fuchs maybe in the 57, the 14 of Robinson. Last 2 cars in our rundown. Green flag coming out for the 2 number 12s. One of them, the 1 in front of it. That's Harvey's car, and another great restart. As Smith and Harvey take him into 1 and 2, Smith's car pushes a little bit in the middle. He gets a good run down the backstretch, though, and he starts to take advantage of the lead position, tries to bring Rosenberry along with him. I should say Rosenberry just trying to come along with him. Smith would probably rather see the 112 of Harvey get down. He might be able to do that. Rosenberry trying to work forward on the inside of Harvey for second. And Rosenberry does get his nose in there, and now McMillan and Stankiewicz go around. Look out, Ritter comes to a stop. Getting ready to go in that 3rd spot, revving it up with Tedesco to his outside. Here we go, green flag coming off of 4. Good restart again. Oh, Harvey spins the tires. Harvey spins the tires a little bit. Rosenberry goes to the inside. Oh, Rosenberry checks up, and Riddle comes to a stop in turn 2. That's going to bring out the yellow. Caution for Riddle. Here comes Smith and Harvey. Rosenberry, Tedesco, and the rest of the field coming as well. Green flag. 1 lap from halfway. Off and racing again. Down into the 1st corner we go. Harvey, good run off of the 2nd turn. Smith just a little bit of a bobble, but stays inside of Harvey. Rosenberry and Tedesco coming along. Halfway, 15 in, 15 to go, and Smith leads at the line. For the 3rd position, Rosenberry has it. Tedesco slips back to 4th, maybe 5th soon. Whoa, Rosenberry sideways. That allows the inside lane to open up for Harvey. Didn't drop his car into the bottom groove yet. Close racing between the 2, and Rosenberry's in there now. Alex Rosenberry for the number 2 spot might be the worst enemy of Bubba Smith now to the end of this race, because Rosenberry is hooked up. Tonight's top qualifier will be facing off against the 8th fast qualifier in moments. Rosenberry to 2nd, Sibla on the move. Don't count him out yet. Last year's point champion. Brian Smith also starts his run toward the front. Brian Smith outside of Doug McMillan picks up a position. Got his car running well in the outside lane. Bubba Smith leads, but now here it's Alex Rosenberry's turn with 11 laps to go. Brian Smith in the number 1 car on the outside of Mike Miller, now off the pace. Doug McMillan, rather, in the 54 car has dropped into the infield. Now Tedesco, a little bit of contact with Rick Sibla. Oh, Rick Sibla up the banking. There goes the 70 of Tedesco into the 3rd spot. Tedesco up to 3rd. Now he'll try to close the gap. 7 laps to go for the number 12 of Bubba Smith. The 2 of Rosenberry, the 70 of Tedesco, 63 of Sibla, and 112 of Harvey. Boy, Brian Smith all over the rear bumper of Mike Miller. Cuts across the nose of the 42 car of Stankiewicz as he tries to make a move on Miller. Smith racing with Miller off of the second corner. Rosenberry racing with Bubba Smith at the front, and we have 5 laps to go in this McIntosh Oil Company late model feature. Action heating up middle of the pack with Brian Smith and Mike Miller, and also Rosenberry waiting for a mistake from Bubba Smith. He doesn't make many, just about made one there. He bobbled a little bit. Rosenberry looked under, but back to single file formation. Miller and Smith go at it. And trouble on the backstretch. Smith and Rosenberry get together. They've made their way to the first 3 spots. The caution lights are out. 5 laps to go. Been a long race, plenty of cautions, plenty of sideways action. That's resulted in a few spins as Rosenberry and Tedesco come in for the green. The 2 cars go into the corner. Rosenberry takes them up the banking. Tedesco down the backstretch. They rub some paint. Sibla right there behind them. The top 2 beating and banging it. Here comes Sibla, 3 wide for the lead. Tedesco, right front fender beat down. Tedesco going into the lead. Rosenberry sliding back. Boy, Bubba Smith and Schneider got together a little bit. Tedesco pulling forward. 3 laps to go, and Tedesco into the lead. Rosenberry back to second. 3rd spot is Sibla. Look at Brian Smith rallying back. He went to the back earlier in the race. He's going for the 3rd position now. He's going to get held up, though, as Rosenberry slides high. Rick Sibla goes to the inside. Brian Smith nearly spun the car. Miller goes to the inside lane. White flag this time. 1 to go for Tedesco, the veteran. Sibla in second. Rosenberry off the pace. He's going to drop to the back now. Unbelievable change of events in this one. Unreal. And Tedesco in the number 70 brings it home in first place, winning tonight's late model feature. Sibla second, Brian Smith third. 4th spot to Mike Miller, finishing 5th, the 42 of Stankiewicz. A rough race, no doubt. Interesting race. Several different drivers having a chance to win. Good run for Rick Sibla, good run for Brian Smith, rallying from the back of the field to finish 3rd. Doug McMillan falling out of the event with problems. Unfortunate break for him. Hopefully nothing that will keep him out of action. That's the first time he's been here this year and has not finished second. The Ducini Drug, Tedesco Racing Graphics, Marathon Manufacturing and Supply, CC Performance Racing Engine, sponsored number 70. Fast Mass Racing, of course, on this as well. Talking about the lack of grip down the stretch. He was carrying the GoPro camera, most likely for NEO Racing News this week. Let's hear it for Ryan Tedesco. Well, Ryan, kind of a wild late model race. I said before you guys pulled out, I said, the Michael Buffer, you ready for the main event? Because I thought this was going to be a main event. We had the 8 fastest qualifiers at the front, and they were all pretty equally prepared. Restarts are wild on these tires. You can run the outside lane. I think, in fact, the outside lane's better on restarts. Yeah, that's the one thing that I've hated since they went to the double file restarts. I feel like the grip level on the bottom groove has, over the years, kind of the preferred lane for the grip level is on the outside, and you're not binding the car up as much, and
and it's a lot better out there, and it's almost like when you're leading the race, you're a sitting duck. I know they went to the double file restarts right around the time that NASCAR did, but NASCAR gets to pick their lane. I kind of wish if you was a leader, you got to pick your lane. But
it worked out for you there at the end, running the outside. Rosenberry gave it his all. I think maybe after some contact earlier, his car started pushing. He ran you up a little bit. Yeah. Sibla looked under you guys twice. I thought, here we go, 3 wide. This could be bad.
Yeah, I thought that was going to get ugly because I knew that he took some contact on the right front, but I didn't know. I couldn't really tell how bad it was if the sheet metal was in on the tire. And when that is, it's usually you go down in the corner, and as soon as the car loads, it usually just shoves up the track, and that's probably what happened.
It was a barn burner. Some people you want to thank, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I got Marathon Manufacturing, CC Performance Race Engines, my dad, Kevin Herron, Brian Swinderman. We got little hands here. My cousin Kayla, she's in town for the weekend, and I think this might be the first one she's seen, and we put her in victory lane.
You can tell her you do it all the time.
Yeah. Maybe I'll stop now and she'll think my average finish is 1.
Let's hear it for the winner, Ryan Tedesco.
I got to thank the wife, too. She's giving me...
She's looking a little mean down here.
She's giving me the eye.
There you go, your winner, Ryan Tedesco, tonight in the late model feature. Up next, the Pure Stocks, a 20-lapper. Rita's out. Good start. Oliver into the lead off of turn number 2. Teddy Oliver takes the top spot. Here comes Boron in the 82. And look out competition. Boron has been solid, winning a couple of features this year. Around goes Anders in the 18. He loses power and the caution is out. And it will be a complete restart. It's bicycle races at intermission with our regular divisions of action. It is Big Brothers, Big Sisters night at the track. Green flag off of turn 4. For the number 1 spot, Oliver doesn't get as great a start this time as the first time around in the 49 car of Oliver working outside of Harmon. Harmon sideways. Look out. Here comes Schweitzer 3 wide with Shimko. He will give some room. Wow, that was close. Boron had gotten to the outside of Oliver. Oliver tried to go to the high lane. And now Shimko out of control. Harmon leads. Second is Shimko. Third spot is now Schweitzer. Three complete. It will be lap 4 at the line. Harmon looking for his first feature win in a car that they just put together for this week's racing. After crashing his primary car a couple of weeks ago, had to go to a backup plan. Schweitzer trying to set up a pass on Shimko, but he's been able to protect the bottom just enough. Harmon leads the way. Second spot is Shimko. Third spot is Schweitzer. Fourth is Boron. And fifth position is Oliver. Oliver gets to the inside and around he goes. $15 to go. Five in, 15 to go. Green flag for Harmon and Shimko. Schweitzer and Oliver in row 2. Boron going to rally from the back of the field. Plenty of time to do it, too. I could still see him seeing a top 3 run for Boron if things work out right as he comes back through. Here comes Schweitzer to the inside of Harmon for the lead. Schweitzer on the inside of Harmon for the race lead. Down in turns 1 and 2, it is Oliver down for second. Oliver to the inside of Harmon for the number 2 spot. 7 laps complete at the line this time. 13 to go. And Oliver is up to second. There's Harmon changing lanes on Shimko. He tries to get him righted and does. Seven laps in, 13 to go. To the green, it is Schweitzer and Oliver. Schweitzer on the inside, Oliver on the outside. Schweitzer will lead lap number 8. And now Boron for the number 4 spot. Don Boron Jr. from the back of the field up into the 4th position. Shimko next on his list. Teddy Oliver hasn't given up a lot of ground to Rich Schweitzer. And halfway this time, 10 laps in, 10 laps to go. Oliver still pressuring Schweitzer at the front of the pack. Schweitzer, the top qualifier. Oliver qualified in the 4th position. We got a yellow. Yellow flag out for a spin on the 29 of Waylon Orr in turns 3 and 4. Boron, the 82, restarting 3rd and 4th. Here we go. A little bit of contact between the top 2 as Schweitzer and Oliver bump tires. Leading the way is Schweitzer. Second is Teddy Oliver. Third is Shimko. $13 and 7 to go. 5 to go this time for Schweitzer and Oliver. $17 in, 3 to go. Todd Miller, the 77, racing with Hoopengarner, got a run to the bottom. Hoopengarner trying to protect, couldn't. To the pits, Harmon in the 9. Final 2 laps. And Boron spins into the infield. Don Boron Sr. a spin into the infield will bring out the yellow. Three from the finish. Schweitzer looking for win 3 of the year. Oliver looking for win 1 of the season. They're off and racing. Oliver takes it way out towards the wall. Schweitzer keeps it on the bottom. Shimko looks to the inside. Hoopengarner nearly spins. Miller gets around him. Miller now will challenge the 82 of Boron Jr. He's running okay in the second groove. Now he gets sideways, and here comes Miller. Miller on the inside, Boron on the outside. Shimko sideways in third. 1 to go this time. A white flag for Schweitzer. Schweitzer leading the way, coming to the checkered, looking for, I believe, his second win in a row and his third overall this season. Schweitzer, victorious tonight, extends his point lead. Second place, Oliver. Third spot, Shimko. Fourth spot is Miller. Fifth spot, Boron. Sixth place to Hoopengarner. Allen's Muffler and Tire. Alicia Manley MD, sponsor number 84, claiming the win tonight. Federated Auto Parts, also a supporter of this racer's car. Rich Schweitzer. Well, tonight, top qualifying effort. You and Boron all season long. Tonight, you were the fast qualifier. You came from 5th. It was a small invert. It was a good dice roll.
Yeah, it was.
Can't beat that. Racing a little bit wild. Was the track slick tonight?
A little bit. Wasn't too bad. A little messy there at the end, but we just played like we was on the dirt track.
Yeah, that's right. This car was a dirt car out at the dirt track. It won at least one championship, right?
Yeah, Tori won in this one. I won in the other car.
There you go. So you didn't win a championship in this. You got a chance this year. You're leading the points. Good run tonight.
If we can keep her on one piece, we got a chance. So.
Rich Schweitzer, your winner tonight in the Pure Stock feature. Modified 25-lap feature coming up. $500 on the line for the winner of this Summit Racing Economy Modified featured Jason Gruhl, Lucas Ripley, Greg Hull, and Tim Westerfield Jr. It was a big invert tonight. I think it was like a 15. Put Scott Archer, the top qualifier, back in the pack. He's actually starting in the 13th spot with a couple of drivers starting at the tail. Green flag off of 4. Green flag racing off of turn number 2. Clean and green down the backstretch. Westerfield is all over Lucas Ripley at the front. Gruhl running the bottom. 1 lap in. Lucas Ripley leading the way in caution for debris. For the restart. Summit Racing Economy Modified set to go again. See if we can pick up another first-time feature winner. Ripley off the pace. The car comes to a stop in front of the field. That's going to stack them up, but fortunately, no one else getting involved. We are green flag racing until the yellow comes out for Ripley. Ripley's car stopping on the start. Ripley will be dropping to the back of the field if he does elect to go. He's been having problems with the car stalling. Rick Sibla in the Mike Bowers 02 car. To the green, turn 4, 24 from the checkered. Westerfield will go into the lead, some brake checking, and around. On the backstretch goes Sibla, stays in the gas, spins it around again. Caution flag is out. The restart. Here we go. Westerfield again the advantage in the 9. Exit of turn number 2. Outside lane moving forward around the 99 car of Gruhl. Westlake for the number 2 spot. Steubenville driver Bill Westlake to the outside of Jason Gruhl. Bob Sibla Jr., the 82 car, also moving forward. So is Kevin McClintock in the 38. Good green flag run for Westerfield in the 9. Westerfield leading Westlake. Caution for the 24 of Sean Kaufman. A spin down in turns 1 and 2. Sean Kaufman in the 24 car. In the top 4, Gruhl restarts 5th, McClintock restarting 6th, Ripley is in 7th, Greg Hull has fallen to 8th, Walker 9th, and Dobbins 10th. 19 from the finish. The green is back out on this modified feature. Westlake gets himself a nice run in the outside lane. Westerfield pushes up, has to lock it down, and Westlake goes into the lead. Gruhl is off the pace in the 99 car. Checking up to get around him was Walker in the 30. Gruhl in the 99 again, moving down out of the way of the other competitors. He's got some car issues. Westlake leads. Second is Westerfield. Third is Sibla. Fourth is Smart, and he nearly spun it on his own. He's still sideways. He got on the brakes, and the car just about looped around. Jason Gruhl might be heading pit side with his car that's definitely dropped off the pace. And Smart in the 17, problems for Smart. Saw him get really sideways going into one last time around. And he's going to the pits. It's been a tough season for Randy Smart so far this year. He's going to ride around slow in the outside lane. Westlake leading the way. Westerfield in second. Sibla Jr. in the third spot. And Smart does take his ride into the pits. Thinking maybe a tire going down, and now Bowers in the 0-2. Sibla in the 0-2, and Bowers' car off into the pits. Sending Malter in the 25 off into the pits his first night out. He wasn't doing bad. He's really picked it up as the day's gone along. Laps to go. Final 10 laps for the leader, Bill Westlake. Bob Sibla Jr. in the third spot. He's hungry. Hasn't got a chance to race quite as much in 2013 as last year and the years before. Boy, Archer is pushing all the way down the front stretch, and that allows Ripley to go to the outside. Good battle going through turns 1 and 2 between Greg Hole, Todd Ripley, Scott Archer, and the 2-car McCreary. Getting down to the final stages of this 25-lap modified feature. Laps to go for Bill Westlake. Battle for second between Sibla and Westerfield. Sibla, great run for the Ertl 82. White flag this time, 1 to go for Westlake. They go underneath the slower traffic. Westlake down the backstretch into turn number 3. Westerfield following him in second. Sibla in third, but Westlake his first feature win at Midvale Speedway. Takes his hands off of the wheel. He's clapping as he comes to Terry Coletti, who gives him high five for his feature win. Earlier this season, Westlake, the veteran driver, he's run on dirt, he's run on asphalt. He raced here years ago in the Detroit Iron Street Stock type division. Never won a feature. Went to dirt for a while, ran some modifieds on dirt, then came to asphalt and picked up a feature win. First feature win in 18 years of racing for Bill Westlake. It's a sharp car. He's had it in the mall show the last couple of years. The Indian Creek Electric Company, QuickTime Performance Parts, RR Carburetors, Roger Winget Chassis. Roger Winget builds these cars down in the Dayton area. The Awesome Signs and Shirts car as well. Earlier this season, he finished top 3 in the feature and forgot to go to the tech line after the race. It cost him a top 3. He won't forget tonight. Doesn't want to give this trophy up and this $500 top prize. Your winner tonight, Bill Westlake. Well, Bill, congratulations. First feature win, right?
First feature win, I think 18 years.
You've been running, you ran some street stocks, you ran some Detroit Iron type cars, you went to dirt for a while. You came close a few times, including earlier this season, a top 3 run at the end of the race.
Yeah, this is so awesome. This really feels good. The tires, everything, and I'm just so excited.
Did you ever think it would happen, or were you like, man, you know what, I'll just be happy with top 5?
You know what, I thought I'd end my career when I retired with just second or whatever. I never thought this day would come.
He wins tonight. Let's hear it for Bill Westlake. Real quick, Bill. Bill, you might have some people you want to thank. You don't get a chance to do it that often.
Oh, wow, yeah. I'd like to thank all my sponsors. I'd like to thank my family and my friends, and I got to thank the fans, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
Your winner again, Bill Westlake, the veteran driver, his first career feature win, and he was hooked up tonight. Is Wes Ennis. 11 cars starting, a 15-lap feature, compact, fast feature event on the racetrack here at Midvale Speedway, and the green is out. Joe Oliver in the number 3, winning a heat. Oh, look out, Schneider goes down through the infield, and they keep on rolling. Great job of driving by everyone. There was a little contact involved there, and we keep racing. It is Frederick and Vasilou up front. Here's an opening for Schneider to the inside of Frederick. Not quite in there yet. Down into the corner, he checks up. Boy, Frederick bonsais it in the turn. Rubs some paint door to door with the number 4. Great compact action. The door is open again. This time Schneider has the lane. He's up to the door of Frederick, going into 3. 3 wide. It is Vasilou leading. Schneider moving into second. Frederick contact with Schneider on the right rear. That could have been ugly. Then McCartney goes to the bottom. Oliver nowhere to go. There's been a lot of contact right now, but everyone able to keep it in the right direction. Good job by the drivers in these front-wheel drive 4 cylinders. 4 laps in, 11 to go. Swaney's on the move in the 27. Joe Oliver still hanging in there in the 3. I think you watch for Joe Oliver here. He was great in the heat race. Obviously can't count out the 27 of Swaney. He's been top qualifier and has won a feature or two, running the bottom lane. For the lead, Joe Oliver's working forward. This is going to be close to opening things up for Schneider. All of these cars are going to be rainbow painted at the end of the race as they continue to swap paint. At the front, it is the 4 car, and there the 3 of Oliver turns left. He and the 157 of Schneider get together. My goodness. 7 laps in at the line, this time by for Vasilou. Oliver second, and now Braden Swaney goes to the outside. The top 3 could be in trouble now. Swaney carrying an in-car camera. That's been a good thing tonight for some competitors. Halfway this time. 8 laps in. 7 laps to go. For second. Now Oliver gets shuffled high. 3 wide down the back stretch. Swaney makes it through as he threads the needle. He's on the outside of Orr. Schneider somehow still in second. Vasilou leads the way, looking for his first feature win. Kyle Grove has been boxed in the 31 car next time by, and here is a battle for the lead. Schneider gets underneath Vasilou for the top spot, but Vasilou more power. He beats him to turn 3. Back to the inside, Schneider. Spins sideways, down into the grass. Keeps it in the right direction. Loses a few spots, though. And now McCartney sideways. He hits Schneider. Unbelievable. For the lead now, Vasilou in the 27 of Swaney on his outside. Max McCartney off the pace in the 5. He will pull off into the infield. We'll go down and wish Dan Bailey a happy birthday on the way by. For the lead, Swaney on the high side of Vasilou. "12 in, 3 to go, and Swaney takes the lead. Jeffrey Orr in that beautifully painted number 8 car, ready to make a move for second place. Kyle Grove, who's been boxed in for much of the race, he's on his way in that black and orange 31, trying to move forward. 2 to go. Braden Swaney with less than a lap to go to the checkered flag. Swaney to the double checkered, and he claims the victory. Grove looking for second. Not quite, as Orr finishes in the runner-up spot. Swaney pulls into victory lane. It was not easy. The field all boxed in. Double file from start to the back of the pack. Picking up the victory. Driving the number 27, leading the points and extending them a little bit. He was just patient enough to watch the...
He's got a show.
Los Schwartz Trucking. Trainmaster in, shortstop drive-through, CJ's drive-through, sponsor 27. Getting into victory lane again, Braden Swaney is he again. He gives his dad Mike a chance to get to victory lane again tonight. That's what he was doing. Braden, congratulations on another win. What, the second or third, right?
That was the second.
Second feature win. Couldn't remember if you picked up a third. Carrying the in-car camera tonight, you brought some interesting views there. Man, there was a lot of beating and banging going on, trading paint out there.
Yeah, I got to apologize to whoever was running that 3-car. I hit him in that rear end so many times.
And everybody was checking up, obviously. Then the guys behind you probably getting into you. We had cars darting inside, outside.
Oh, yeah, that was a real good race. I just got to thank my sponsors, Shortstop and CJ's Drive-Thru, My Museum Tattoo Shop, Train Master Inn, Terry Coletti for making this ride look so good, man. All the people at the shop, my mom, my dad, everybody.
All the people still back at the shop?
Yeah.
They're probably watching it on TV. Your winner again, Braden Swaney. To the line in 4. Green flag is out. It's a slow start, but they are rolling. Well, they're kind of rolling. Wood in the 00 having problems. Now I think he might be up to speed. Looks like he picks it up a notch. And he does. He just giving him a head start. Badgett in the 22 truck will lead lap number 1. To the outside for the second position, the 00 of Wood. Wood up to second, back to third is Parson. Leading the way is Badgett. We are halfway, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Six laps in, down to the final 2 laps for this mini truck feature. If he has rocket launchers in the back of the 00, Dennis Wood might be able to catch Justin Badgett. I believe that Dennis Wood in the 00 is the stepdad of Justin Badgett, if I remember correctly. Going to race to the checkered coming off of turn 4. Justin Badgett will pick up the victory. Dennis Wood will cross the line in second, and Bob Parson in the 44 will make his way to the finish line in the 3rd spot. Lakesh for clunkers. 2 kids towing. Hillside Park Camping, Cutting Edge of Design, Hall of Recycling, JoJo's Drive-Thru, sponsored number 22. The winner, Justin Badgett. Well, Justin, I believe second win of the year, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have too many guys out there to beat tonight. You only had 2 left. These trucks dropping off like flies. We built some new ones, and then we lose a couple. We had the point leader up there, the 12. What happened to him?
I have no idea. He's right there.
All right, what happened to the truck? Drive shaft, so that was the drive shaft. Doug Decker, the top qualifier, also had problems, but this truck ran okay tonight.
Yeah, it ran pretty good. I like it.
You had to win the feature after it picked up a win in the heat, right?
Huh?
This truck yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had to win the feature, right, after it picked up a win in the heat?
Yeah, thanks to her.
That's right. You couldn't be shown up by Shelby over here. Let's hear it for your winner, Justin Badgett. Nine cars ready for the start. First time since week number 2, running a B feature for the compact division, giving everyone a chance at an extra feature win trophy on the night. As Roberts and Bloom bring him to the stripe in 4, we are underway. Final feature of the evening. Gerald Hahn goes 3 wide down into the first corner. Hahn on the inside, Roberts in the middle, and Bloom on the outside groove. Down the backstretch they race, Hahn on the inside. Side-by-side action. Second and third, fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh, and Roberts leads the way. Josh Roberts has Hahn looking to the outside. Hahn to the second groove of Roberts. Bloom in the number 7. And now they catch the leader. 3 wide for the number 1 spot, going to 3. Vasilou checks up, coming off of 4. And now Vasilou changes lanes, comes down to the bottom. And there goes Finlayson. He keeps it rolling, though. We'll keep this one under green. Just one of those chain reaction deals again. Now Hahn hitting Vasilou going into turn 3. 4 laps in and 11 to go. Alan Clark still having car problems in the 69. Next week, kids' bicycle races at intermission. Vasilou in the 9 to the inside of Roberts. Got the run going into the corner. Roberts tries to squeeze him a little bit, then gives room. Here comes Vasilou to the inside. And now Hahn will try to follow. Hahn gets on the brakes hard going into the first turn. Nearly spun the car. Roberts has fallen to third. Chris Bloom is there. 7 laps in this time. 7 laps in this time. And 8 laps to go. Alan Clark, problems tonight for that 69. He's been one of our top 4 qualifiers, I think, earlier this year, but mechanical issues hurting his chances this evening. In fact, by the end of this one, he may be in front of the field, about to go down a lap. A.J. Vasilou, Gerald Hahn second, third Chris Bloom, fourth Dale Beatty, fifth spot. Laney Stresky and Lisa Moore has moved up into 6th. 10 laps in and 5 to go. $11 complete at the line for A.J. Vasilou. Vasilou leading the way, 12 complete. White flag coming up this time. 1 lap to go, and I think this is only his second night of racing action. A.J. Vasilou, 1 final circuit. Coming to the checkered, A.J. Vasilou picks up the victory. Second spot to Dale Beatty. Third to Gerald Hahn. Fourth, Delaney Streski. Hey, he was good enough to win the feature. Don't give him any crap about stalling the car. Come on, people. "14-year-old driver behind the wheel of the number 9, claiming the win tonight, A.J. Vasilou. Obviously hasn't driven on this street yet. That won't happen for a couple of years. Still trying to get used to the clutch. And shifting. Second night of racing for the 14-year-old here in the compact division, and he gets the win in the second feature tonight. The Vegas Night Skilled Games car. Everybody down here to congratulate him. A.J. Vasilou. AJ, congratulations. Just 2 nights of racing, I think. A couple of weeks ago, you were running in your first ever race in the heat, and you got moved over by somebody you know pretty well.
Yeah, I got spun out by my dad. It was pretty bad.
Well, he wasn't in your feature tonight, so you were in good shape. You didn't have to worry as much. You were way out front by yourself, and did you know how far you were ahead?
No, I didn't.
You had a lot of people cheering for you, wanting you to win. Does it seem like it comes easy for only your second night of racing?
It came pretty easy tonight, not usually though.
Now you want to get a little bit faster, get up into the fast feature and try to win one of those, right?
Yeah, no family tonight, so I had better luck.
Let's hear it for the winner, A.J. Vasilou. Next week, kids' bicycle races at intermission. We also have the Big Brothers, Big Sisters night here at the racetrack. It's all brought to you by Canton Auto Sales, Canton Auto Salvage. Normal race times, normal practice, normal qualifying, normal admission prices next Saturday. We'll see you here. Thanks again to Frontier Tool and Equipment Rental. Hopefully they had a good night at the racetrack. We'll see you next Saturday. Please remember to buckle up and drive home safely.